So I came into a Commodore 16 with a dead CPU. 7510s have a tendency to cook themselves. I'm going to drop in here that I realised that I keep saying 7510 when I mean 7501, and that's not going to change. And replaced it with a 6510 and an adapter board, which worked pretty well for 16K games. I've been using it for a good couple of weeks that way. But I quite like the feel of this machine, but I'd like to upgrade it to 64K. So I was curious if I could do this without changing the motherboard. So acquired one of these. Oop, that's terrible focusing, which is a Saruman 64K expansion card. Plugged it in with the CPU and it didn't work. Went forwards and backwards with Saruman, the developer behind this themselves, sent this off for testing, and we came to the conclusion that it wasn't going to work with a 6510 CPU. Fair enough, was going to need a 7510. Buying a 7510 is gold dust. They do not exist. They have a tendency to cook themselves. Trying to buy replacements is, funnily enough, a dwindling stock. So there's a limited array of options. There's a nice gentleman who makes, in small batches, FPGA-based replacements, which is, if I can get out of the box, what this is, and I'll pop links in the video comments. And we're going to hook both of these up. So just to prove that this is behaving itself as it stands, we'll load from the SD to IEC. You can see it's a 16K machine. We'll run, we'll play a few seconds of Trailblazer, and then we'll kill the machine and open it. And you'll get to see my terrible game playing ability. Whee, down to T. There it goes. Okay. And yep, it's working fine. Whee. So let's kill it. Let's move just to the camera. Okay. Let's try not to knock the audio. Let's give you folks a better view. Okay. We have a board to play with. We'll plonk that out the way. So there's the 6510 CPU with the adapter board, and there's the TED chip. We'll pop the CPU replacement in first and check that works, and then we'll do the RAM expansion. RAM expansion fits over the TED chip. So gently does it. We might go in with, yeah, extractors. Very gently. There we go. CPU out. Interestingly, there's no orientation marks on this. Ah, pin 1. Yep, pin 1. There's a small orientation mark right on that corner. In the top left there's a notch for you to orientate the CPU. Check it before we plug it. Okay, let's see how we did with this one. Hope for the best. That looks positive. So, successful test on the CPU. Let's kill the power. Moment of truth is now we need to install this into the TED, into the adapter. Now we just have to install this back into here. And hope. Crunch is a great noise on a machine this age. It looks to be in. Okay. This should by default run with 64 kilobytes. So let's find out. And there we go, 60671. If we stick the case back together briefly, cool, and load our SD to IEC again. When I did this last time with the 6510 CPU, I went very wrong very quickly. Oh, I know what's not working. Oh. Wow, this is going to take a switch. When we switched out to the 6510 CPU, we had to change the kernel. That was silly of me. We need to put the kernel back. Which means I have to find it. That may take some time. I am amazed that I still have the original kernel chip here and it's not elsewhere. I am genuinely impressed with myself. So let's see if we can carefully pull this one. Also got, which we haven't used yet, a diagnostic cartridge, which might be an idea for checking that everything is playing ball. So let's keep that handy. Oh, it's promising. Kill the power, put the lid back on. Oh, that looks promising. Okay. Hey, look at that. There's a seek light on there. And run. Cool. We'll do this backwards. We'll go test games and then we'll run the diagnostic cart. Actually, no, we'll do it the right way around. Kill it. Low RAM okay, high RAM okay, and then it fucks off. Yep, okay, high RAM 64 okay, basic kernel, basic ROM okay, kernel okay, function ROM skip, high ROM skip, keyboard. What's it waiting on? F1 STV. Keyboard bad. I've not plugged the keyboard in. Okay. Press K for extended keyboard test. Whoop. I care about right now. I'm curious why it thinks the keyboard is bad. The keyboard's been working fine. Cool. Load. Load FB8. We shall check with Trailblazer first, and then there's an adventure game that I've been wanting to play, which started me down the whole 64K route. Looks positive. Let's adjust that camera. Okay. I still suck at this game. Okay. I think I'm playing with a bit of a lag as well, which isn't helping, but hey, first level finished. Okay. So that's enough Trailblazer for the minute. Let's reset it. Hibernated, that was it. Hibernated. So this is the one I want to test because this is what told me that the Saruman wasn't working for me with the 6510 processor. So fingers, ooh. So no, remember, I've got to remember how to do this. Ah, there we go. Puddle Software Interactive Fiction, 8-bit games itch.io. Well, we're not going to need this. You open up the covers, you lure me in. This place is deaf. I know you feel the same. Hibernated. This place is deaf. Director's cut. A science fiction story by Stefan Vogt. First time players should type about. Release 8. A boot, apparently. A cold, dark place. You wake up. A feeling of nausea grips you as you slowly regain control of your senses. You should open your eyes. So this suddenly jumped into Hitchhikers. Let's hit about. It is copyright 2001 by Stefan Vogt and Vogt. I apologise. and Puddle Software. Please feel free to correct me. You may freely distribute the game. Yep. Where the latest version is available, and optional donations are welcome. This work may not be sold or included in any profit collection without written permission from the author. And let's show the credits. Hibernated 1 is dedicated to thousands of people who've downloaded and played the original. Your vibrant support is overwhelming. It's also dedicated to Ralph Neese, who unfortunately passed away so unexpectedly. Your art will live forever. Oh. Every man can transform the world from one of monotony and drabness to one of excitement and adventure. Irving Wallace. Beta crew: Tim Gilbert, the man, the myth, the legend. Nice. Anthony Stiller, Graham Axon, Boris Kretzinger, Ingo Hinterding, Kat Venture, Eric Nelson. The Eric Nelson tested this. Very nice. Eric Nelson's behind Inform. Stefano Giavoto, Frederick Ramsberg, Hugo Lebrande, and Captain Edgecase. Captain Edgecase is an excellent handle. This game was created using Inform by Graham Nelson, not Eric Nelson. I wonder if they're related. And it utilizes Puny Inform, a custom library by Frederick Ramsberg and Johan Bernsen. I want to go play with that. I've written a couple of Inform games. I'd like to go play with Puny Inform. It looks interesting. Let's take a look. A cold, dark place. You wake up. A feeling of nausea grips you as you slowly regain control of your senses. You should open your eyes. Well, let's open eyes. Blurred shapes slowly morph into a clear picture. It takes a moment. I'm going to have to make myself smaller. Because I am irrelevant to this. There we go. It takes a moment for you to find your way back to reality. Has the Polaris 7 reached its destination? Still a bit shaky on your legs, you climb out of the hypersleep tube. Hibernation chamber. A room is lit by a gentle blue light. A glance through the porthole reveals nothing but the endless vastness of the Centaurus constellation. Proxima Centauri must be very close now, but there is no planetary orbit in sight. It seems an incident has interrupted your journey to Proxima C1. The only exit is starboard. The status monitor of the hypersleep tube flashes intrusively. Read monitor. If this information is correct, then you have spent nearly 20 years in hypersleep. During this time, a distance of about 4.1 light years was covered. Proxima Centauri is 4.24 light years away from Sol, which confirms the assumption that you haven't reached the target system yet. What's going on here? Okay, so you've woken too early. I'm not playing anymore today, but I'm looking forward to now playing this and having some more fun time with this now that it's spec'd up. And hopefully writing some code on this as well. That would be excellent.